Dear friends, when we in the morning when we brush our teeth, we can learn how to brush our teeth with joy and peace and contentment. Because toothbrushing is a practice. Usually we do it automatically. We want to do it as quickly as possible so that we can finish with it and do other things. So we allow ourselves to do it mechanically, automatically. But in the practice, we do otherwise. We take the time to enjoy tooth brushing. We bring our mind into it. It is as important as sitting meditation or chanting. The practice of plum village consists of bringing your mind into everything you do each day. When your mind is there with you, you will do it more deeply. You will enjoy more what you are doing. You are not thinking of other things. You just think, you just are with what you are doing. So we may brush our teeth more than one time each day. And during the time of toothbrushing, we learn how to enjoy the minute of brushing our teeth. In the last few years, I asked my left hand to do the job, brushing. Because before that, only my right hand. I said, well, you left hand, do you like to enjoy doing that? In the beginning, it did not do it very well, but now it does almost as well as my right hand. My right hand does a lot of things, like inviting a bell, writing, and things like that. So I would like to, I have wanted to ask my left hand to share some of the things, and my left hand enjoy very much doing so. We can bring awareness into our act of tooth brushing It's wonderful to have the time to brush our teeth. Especially at my age, I say that it's wonderful to still have some teeth in order to brush. Because things are impermanent and you lose your teeth one day. And someday you may get artificial teeth, but now they are real and you enjoy brushing them. You have the toothbrush, and you have the paste, and you have the running water. And there's no reason why you don't enjoy toothbrushing. And this is a challenge. Brush your teeth in such a way that peace and joy become possible during the time of toothbrushing. You put all of yourself, not only the body but also the mind, 1% of the body and mind into the act of brushing your teeth. And that is the way a Buddha brushes his teeth. To be concentrated on just that and to enjoy. It can be very enjoyable, just brushing your teeth. And when you finish to brushing, when you take a shower, then put all of yourself into taking the shower. Take the shower in such a way that makes joy and freedom and happiness to be possible during the time of taking the shower. Of course, back home there's more comfort, but you can still enjoy it in Plum Village, taking a shower. Invest 100% of ourselves, mind and body, into taking the shower. You may like to sing during that time. Enjoy it. Don't think of other things, of the next thing to do. Just to be with it and to do it deeply. And that is the secret of Plum Village practice. You learn how to do everything deeply with your mind present. And while doing so, you cultivate more mindfulness and concentration. Because mindfulness is the energy that helps you to be fully present in the here and the now. Mindfulness. The word, the Chinese character for mindfulness is made of two parts. And the upper part means now, the present moment. And the lower part means mind. So bring your mind back to the present moment and become aware of what is happening in the present moment. And that is the essential. In our daily life, we always bring our mind home to the here and the now, so that we can live more deeply every moment of our daily life. It is as simple as that. But we need some training to be able to do that. And there is a Sangha around us where everyone is willing to do the same. So we are supported by the collective energy of the group in order to do it well. So that is the privilege, the advantage of being in a group, in a Sangha, in a community. Monks, nuns, lay people, they all like to do that. When the mind is there with the body and participate fully in what is happening, and then we live our life more deeply because we are fully present in the here and the now. And that way we cultivate more mindfulness and concentration. Concentration is born from mindfulness. Suppose you are mindful of the presence of a rose. You are fully aware of the presence of the rose. Breathing in, I know there is a rose. Breathing out, I smile to the rose. You are mindful of the rose. And your mind is with the rose and not with anything else. And if you are truly mindful of the rose, and then you are concentrated on the rose only. Concentration means focusing your attention just on one thing and not many things. Like the spotlight projected on the singer, they want us to concentrate on the singer. So the spotlight is mindfulness, concentrated on the flower. And the quality of our life is increased all the time because mindfulness and concentration are increasing. So this is two kinds of energy that we cultivate with the practice. And this is not a practice that require us to be somewhere else and to put aside some time to do it. This is a practice you can do right in daily life. When you drive your car, you can drive mindfully. And driving your car is helping you to cultivate more mindfulness and concentration. And that is only good for you. You are mindful, you are concentrated, you enjoy more, and you won't have accidents if you are concentrated and mindful. So the practice can be described as an art of living. The art of mindful living. And a few weeks in Plum Village is to get used to that style of living so that when you are home, you can continue. And if back home there are people who like the same thing, and then you can keep the practice alive for a long time. Otherwise, society will carry you away and you lose the practice. This morning I told the children very important things, but in a very simple terms. That when they suffer, and if they know how to enjoy breathing, and then they can suffer less right away. And that is the practice of mindful breathing that we should learn. Our breath is something that can bring our mind back to our body. Our mind is like this, our body is like this, and they may go in different directions. The body might be here, but the mind is there in the future or in our projects. And the mind rarely goes home to the body. And when body and mind are apart, we are not really there to live our life. We allow ourselves to be carried away by events of life. So between the mind and the body, there is something that is our mindful breathing. We breathe every day, but we breathe automatically. We breathe and we don't know that we are breathing. That is not mindful breathing. So mindful breathing is just to focus, to bring your mind back to the breathing. And as soon as you pay attention to your in-breath and out-breath, and breathe in and out, you notice that the mind is going home to the body. And it does not need long. It needs only half an in-breath in order to bring your mind back to the body. Very quick, in a few seconds. And when mind and body are together, you are truly there, alive in the here and the now. This is not something difficult. Just bring your attention to your in-breath and out-breath, and you bring your mind back to the body. And there you are, fully present in the here and the now, ready to live the experience. And mindful breathing, breathing with mindfulness, is a practice that can bring joy, that can help you generate more of that energy. That energy is very crucial for transformation and healing with mindfulness. And we always begin with mindful breathing. Mindful breathing help us to go back to ourselves, to our to the present moment where life is available. Because life is available, and we have an appointment with life. We want to encounter life, and that appointment is made in the present moment. So in order not to miss life, not to miss your appointment with life, you have to go home to the present moment. The here and the now is where and when you encounter life. So one mindful in-breath, one mindful out-breath can bring you home to the present moment, to the here and the now, so that you can encounter life. And when your body and your mind are one, and when you are fully present, everything you do will be deeper. You touch yourself, you touch life more deeply. And when you touch more life more deeply, it's because you have more mindfulness and more concentration. And touching life more deeply will reveal to you the true nature of life. Because when you focus your mindfulness and attention on something, you begin to see it more clearly and more deeply. Whether that is a rose or a cloud or your own despair, even your depression. When you are truly there with mindfulness concentration, you recognize your depression and you understand it better. You understand the roots of your depression. And understanding like that helps you to transform. When you practice sitting, we don't sit a lot here in Plum Village. We don't sit hours and hours and hours. But whenever you like to sit, you can sit on the grass or anywhere. Sitting is a very pleasant thing to do, and you can sit on your own. Every day there are sitting sessions. You can join the Sangha. If you want to sit more, you can come earlier. Or if you can sit part of Sangha, you can arrange so that you can sit anywhere on the campus you like. And sitting, first of all, is to enjoy yourself, enjoy doing nothing, enjoy going nowhere. Sitting is a form of resting. And your day, your week, your time in Plum Village can go perfectly well with your desire to have holidays, resting period. There is no conflict between the two, the practice in Plum Village and having a holiday. In fact, you rest better with the practice. You know how to sit. There are those who go to holiday, but they are not able to sit quietly or lie down quietly because they don't know how to handle their body. They don't know how to handle their in-breath and out-breath. They don't know how to handle their feet while walking. But those of us who come to Plum Village, we learn how to handle our body, how to allow our body to relax, to rest, even in the sitting position. When you sit, you don't have to make any effort. You don't have to strive. Sitting is not a labor, a hard labor. Sitting is just a pleasure. And I told the children that it is possible for them to sit on a lotus flower also. Anywhere can be a lotus flower. That is a portable lotus flower. You can bring with you at any time. You can sit on a cushion, on a bench, or on the grass. And you just allow yourself to sit on a lotus flower. As soon as you sit down, you go back to your body to see whether you are tense or you are relaxed. If there is tension in your body, you know that you can do something in order to release the tension. You breathe in. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. I am aware of the tension in my body. Breathing out, I just allow my tension to be released. And if you remember that there is nothing to do now, I don't have to go anywhere now. I have the opportunity just to sit without doing anything. And then sitting becomes a pleasure. And breathing in, I'm aware of my back straight. I am sitting upright. Sitting upright but relax. I don't have to make any effort. You can, sitting upright can go perfectly with being totally relaxed. And your body now is in a beautiful position, comfortable position. And you begin to practice breathing and become aware of your body, the whole body, relaxing the tension in your body. Or you may like to focus your attention on your face. There are muscles on your face that can become very tense when you worry, when you are angry. And become aware of the tension in your face. You breathe in, releasing the tension in your face. You breathe out and you smile. You need only 1 or 2 in-breath, out-breath in order to release the tension on your face. And if someone see you, they see you are relaxed, more relaxed. If you look into a mirror, a glass, you can see that you look much better after having released the tension on your face. And smiling is very helpful. Smiling is a kind of yoga practice, yoga of the mouth. As soon as you smile, the tension is gone right away. You focus your attention on your shoulder. There may be some tension in your shoulder, and just allow the tension to be gone. And the tension may be some tension in your arms. Breathing in, I am aware of the tension in my arm. Breathing out, I let the tension go. And in the first few minutes, you just use mindful breathing in order to release all the tension in your body. Breathing in, I am sitting on a lotus flower. Breathing out, I smile to my body. At home, when if you have a clock that emits the sound every second, you might like to use the sound to count, to use the clock in order to count how many seconds you breathe in and many seconds you breathe out. Usually the in-breath is shorter than the out-breath. You might begin with 3 seconds breathing in. 1, 2, 3. And for breathing out, you may put 4 or 5 seconds. There's no harm. It's even more pleasant. When you breathe in, just take enough time for the breathing in to be pleasant. Don't try to breathe in more than your lungs want. If they want just 2 seconds, you allow them 2 seconds. If they want 3 seconds, give them 3 seconds. If they want 4 seconds, give them 4 seconds. But for the out breath, you can add 1, 2, 3, 4 more seconds. There's no harm. It's only more pleasant. So leave the in-breath alone. But for the out breath, you might like to breathe longer. And in a sitting position, you might notice that while breathing out, your abdomen is falling. So you bring your abdomen a little bit, bring back, bring in a little bit more. And when you breathe out, you extend your breath out for 1, 2, 3, 4 more seconds. You bring the air in your lungs out more. And so there will be more room in your lungs for the new air to come in. So in the beginning, maybe you notice that you like to breathe only in for 2 or 3 seconds. And while breathing out, you can make 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 or 10. And yet you feel wonderful. There's no harm at all when you prolong your out breath. And at one moment, your lung will tell you that they want more seconds while breathing in. And so you feel the pleasure of breathing in not only 2 or 3, but 4. 4. And you feel wonderful with 1 more second of breathing in. And of course, when you breathe out, you give more than 4. You can make the double. It's okay. It's healthy. And sometime later, your lungs may tell you that they want 5. And you feel wonderful when you breathe in 5 seconds. But you do it only when your lungs tell you. You give your lungs exactly the number of seconds they want when you breathe in. Listen to them and pamper them. Allow them to breathe in as much as they please. But when you breathe out, you can always bring your abdomen back further in order to let more air come out. And this is very clear when you practice walking meditation. In the beginning, you might make in for your in-breath, 2 steps. And when you breathe out, you can afford to make 3 steps. Out, out, out. This is when you practice alone, walking alone. You begin by in, and out, out, out. And you may try to double the out breath. In, out, 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 out. The rhythm is 2, 3, and 2, 4. And you may like to try. You might try 2, 4, or 2, 5, or 2, 6. And still, it's still pleasant. It's very safe to prolong, to extend your out breath. In the beginning, it may be 2, 2, but you want 2, 3. And you can extend, you can make 2, 4, and you can go until 2, 7 or 2, 8. It's okay. But sometime later, your lungs tell you that now I want 3. And if the in-breath is 3, the out-breath can be more than 3, 3, 4, or 3, 5, or 3, 8. Just listen to your lungs and give them exactly what they want. How many steps? Or of course, when you are climbing a hill, the number of seconds, the number of steps will be reduced. If it is steep, and then it will be 1, 1, or 1, 2. And if you listen to your lungs, you know exactly how many steps you make when you breathe in. You breathe in and you breathe out. But what I recommend is that we can always make our breath longer. It's only more pleasant. There's no harm at all. But don't force yourself with the in-breath. But naturally your in-breath, you increase in length. And walk in such a way that you enjoy every step. You are alive. You are walking on this beautiful, rare planet of ours. And this is a miracle. Our Patriarch Linji said that the miracle is to walk on earth. It's not to walk on charcoal or on the thin air, but to walk on earth. And that is because we have mindfulness and concentration. We are mindful that we are alive, that the earth is still beautiful, that it is a miracle of making steps on the earth. And walking with mindfulness, you make the kingdom of God available in the here and the now. You make the pure land of Buddha available to you in the here and the now. Because everything is a miracle. The sunshine is a miracle. The blue sky is a miracle. The white cloud is a miracle. The beautiful hills are miracles. The song of the bird are miracles. And the kingdom of God is not an abstract idea. It is there, here and now. Because we are caught in our anger and fear and confusion, we cannot get in touch. But with some mindfulness, we can liberate ourselves. Bring ourselves to the here and the now, and there we can touch the wonders of life, the kingdom of God. And to me, the kingdom of God is there, right in the here and the now. It is now or never. And the key that unlocks the door of the kingdom is mindfulness and concentration. We come here in order to cultivate our mindfulness, concentration, so that we can live the kingdom in this very moment. In fact, according to the teaching and practice, everything you are looking for, like freedom, like happiness, like the kingdom, like liberation, should be looked for in the here and the now. The Dharma is visible. The Dharma means the practice is visible in the here and the now. As soon as you apply the Dharma, you see the effect right away. Whether that is the practice of breathing, or sitting, or walking. If you do it properly, peace is there to some extent already while you sit. Peace is there to some extent while you breathe. Peace is there to some extent when you walk. And if peace is there, joy can be there also. And your enlightenment. Enlightenment is possible with every breath, with every sitting, with every steps. Because enlightenment is enlightenment of something. To breathe in and to know, to be aware that you are still alive is only an enlightenment. Because there are so many people who don't know that they are alive. They live like in a dream and they walk like sleepwalkers. And with mindfulness, we are aware that we are alive. We are making steps. We are breathing in. We are breathing out. That is why in calligraphy I used to write, breathe, you are alive. You are alive is a miracle. The greatest of all miracles. The fact that you are alive. And you should enjoy the fact that you are alive. Imagine someone who lies there waiting to die. And that person, even if she wants very much, she cannot stand up and make another step. But you are not like that. You are alive. Your feet are strong, still strong. And life is there with all the wonders. And you have strong feet. You have lungs that can help you breathe in and out. You can enjoy breathing in and make one step and two steps and get in touch deeply with the wonders of life, with the kingdom of God. It's not something difficult to see, something difficult to feel, to experience. And that can be done right today. It does not take time. It does not take 8 years or 10 years. You can do it today. With some mindfulness and concentration, we can breathe in and become enlightened. And our enlightenment can grow all the time, beginning with the enlightenment that we are alive. We can breathe in and out. The wonders of life are there. That is the basic enlightenment. In Buddhist psychology, we learn that there are 51 mental formations. Mental formation. Chitta samskara. And there are universal mental formations, and there are particular mental formations. Universal, particular, and there are positive, mental formation, there are negative mental formation. There are wholesome and unwholesome mental formation. And there are those mental formations who can be which can be sometimes wholesome and sometimes else unwholesome. What is the English word for it? Indeterminate. Indeterminate. Mental formations. It's like thinking. Thinking is something very good. something thinking only bring a lot of trouble to us. So we should learn the art of right thinking. Regretting. is one of these undetermined mental formation. Sometimes it's good to regret, but if you regret in such a way that become a kind of complex of guilt, that is not good. So unwholesome mental formation, you can have a craving, you can mention craving, fear, anger, despair, and so on. Wholesome is like compassion, joy, forgiveness, equanimity, etc. Particular like a mindfulness, concentration, insight, universal like touch, attention, feelings, perception, volition. 51 of them. And sometimes we have all these mental formations in us. Sometimes they sleep quietly down there in the bottom of our consciousness. Our consciousness is like is represented by a kind of circle like that. The lower part is thought consciousness, and upper part is mind consciousness. And all these mental formations, they lie here, 51 of them, wholesome and unwholesome. And sometimes when someone says something or does something, they can touch one seed of mental formation down here, and the seed will manifest up here as a mental formation. Mental formation. Why they are here? They are called seeds, bijas. Someone can water a seed in us, and there a mental formation like anger or compassion will arise here. Or we might touch the seed by ourselves. When we think, when we read something, when we listen to something, we can touch the seed in ourselves. It happens that sometimes we feel that many mental formations want to come up at the same time. Anger and fear and worries and feelings and perceptions. Many of them want to come at one time. And we become confused. We don't know what to do, how to handle. It's like in a meeting. You are the chairperson of a meeting, and everyone wants to talk at the same time. And that is what happens from time to time in us. Your fear, your anger, your worries, your feelings, your emotion want to come out together. You cannot say, well, you have to make a curve You have to not you cannot give the order. So what to do? Usually, according to my practice, I use this mindfulness, this mental formation called mindfulness, to be the leader. And mindfulness tells, I know, you want to express yourself. So mindfulness is the capacity to recognize the kind of energy in you that is trying to emerge. And mindfulness does not try to suppress. Mindfulness is there in order to recognize. So the first thing you can do is to breathe in mindfully in order for you to have the energy of mindfulness. And with the energy of mindfulness, you recognize every mental formation that are trying to emerge. You want to make peace, and the peacemaker here is mindfulness. Mindfulness, when it is strong enough, will bring about enough concentration. And with these two leaders, you can rearrange the landscape in your mind. And of course, we know that everyone wants to express themselves at the same time. So mindfulness and concentration just come together and sing a song. It's not a surprise that when you come to Plum Village, you see that there's a lot of songs, a lot of short poems put into music so that you can practice while breathing in and breathing out. In fact, the songs like in, out, deep, slow, calm, ease, mind, release, breathing in, breathing out, here is the Pure Land. The Pure Land is here. There are so many short poems put into music that you can use while you practice sitting meditation or walking meditation. Because when mindfulness and concentration are using the music of breathing, of walking, they can unite all other mental formation. They can ask them to join, and then everyone agree to do music together. And this is what I want you to try. Sitting or walking or breathing, you just use music, and you bring all of these mental formation together, and they will agree to do music with you, and you calm yourself in just 1 or 2 minutes. This is possible. One of the most wonderful products of the humankind is music. And we are able to make music. And I hope that everyone will learn by heart a number of short poems called Nhat, put into music. And we use it when we practice mindful sitting, mindful breathing, mindful walking. And the music is wonderful. They can bring everyone together. There will be harmony, there will be peace in a very short time. When you sing something, you stop thinking. You just follow the music. You just follow the insight brought about by the music. This morning, when the monastic chanted the name of Avalokiteshvara, they were using mindfulness and concentration in order to generate the energy of compassion. Because Avalokiteshvara is a person of deep listening. of great compassion. And when we come together like that, we lose our individuality. We become an organism. The Sangha become an organism. And the collective energy can produce a calm and peace and compassion that will penetrate into every one of us and transform us. When we come together as a community, as a Sangha, we become a river. We are no longer drops of water. We are now, each person, each drop of water has become a river. And that is why the collective energy becomes very powerful. And it has the power to heal, to transform us. And that is why the reading before the chanting is that let the Sangha, let the whole Sangha breathe like one person, one organism. Let the whole Sangha chant as a person, going like a river, transcending the complex of superiority, inferiority, and equality. And this is the same thing. In us, there are so many mental formations, and each mental formation wants to have its voice. And when we practice mindful breathing, mindful walking, with the gatha, with the music, we bring all of them together in music, and we can make peace right very quickly with them. And then after that, we will look deeply into each mental formation to see the roots. And when we understand deeply each mental formation, we can help it to transform or to grow. And this is the practice. And that explains why in Plum Village we make a lot of music. We do a lot of chanting. Not only chanting with our voice, but the chanting inside. So we should be able to use the music during sitting meditation, during walking meditation. And that music helps us to touch the kingdom of God during walking meditation, every step. Because the music not only can unite us, but also can reveal us the wonders of life that can help us free ourselves from the anger, the fear, the despair. When I go to sleep, I lie down, I practice, I go back to my in breath, out breath. I practice breathing in 3, 4. I practice breathing out 4, 5. And I allow the music of mindful breathing to induce me to sleep. And in the morning when you wake up, you might like to try your music also. Waking up in the morning, I smile. 24 hours are there for me. I vow to live them, to live these 24 hours deeply, and learn to look at all living beings with eyes of compassion. And that can be sung, that gatha can be sung while you breathe in and breathe out. So your life can be very joyful with the music of the practice. When we hear the small bell, we can undo our legs and massage them mindfully, smiling.